Good day everyone, my name is Shera Mae from BSc 2-9 and I am here to discuss the fingerprints classification. Here are the list of the materials that I use in this classification. So first is the magnifying glass, the pencil, and the fingerprint card specimen photo. So we're going to use the fingerprints classification formula, which is the K, M, P, SS, and F. So all of these stands for K for key, M for major, P for primary, S for secondary, S for subsecondary, and F for final. So here is the step-by-step procedure.
First step is checking. Checking is the verifying the rolled impression using the plane impression as guide or reference. Second step, blocking out. Blocking out is the process if placing under each pattern the letter symbols representing their pattern interpretation prior to the actual classification formula.
This result will going to be our guide or our reference. And by the use of magnifying glass, we're able to identify that the right thumb is the plain whirl, the right index is ulnar loop, the right middle is also ulnar loop, the right ring is plain whirl, the right little is ulnar loop, the left thumb is also ulnar loop, the left index is also ulnar loop. The left middle is the central pocket loop whirl. The left ring is the central pocket loop whirl. And the last one is left little is also a ulnar loop.
Third step, primary division. Primary division always represented by a numerical value assigned to whirl patterns depending on what finger they appear.
And sa primary division, dapat alam natin yung tinatawag na cross-hand technique. Ano nga ba yung cross-hand technique? So, yung back ng right hand natin, dapat naka-face sa mukha. And din yung palm ng left hand natin, on the other hand, din yung naka-harap sa mukha natin. And yung fingers natin na to, meron silang corresponding value. Yung right thumb, tsaka yung right index, ang value nito is 16. Middle finger and ring finger ng right, ang value nito is 8. Little finger ng right at left thumb natin ang value is 4. Index finger ng left at middle finger ng left, ang corresponding value nito is 2. Tapos, ang ring finger ng left tsaka little finger ng left hand natin, ang corresponding value naman nito is 1. Yun yung cross hand technique. So, dapat memorize natin yung mga corresponding values na yon, and lagi nating tatandaan na sa primary division, only whirl has a value. In the primary division, we're going to remember these 5 things. First, to memorize the pairing of the fingers and their values. The second one is only the whirls pattern have value. The third one is summation of the numerical values assigned to whirl patterns. The fourth is even numbers are numerators and odd numbers are denominators. And the last one is do not forget the pre-established fraction, which is 1/1.
Okay, so sa primary division, ang pattern nga lang na ginagamit dito or ang pattern lang na may value ay ang whirl pattern or patterns. And sa reference natin, ang mga whirl patterns ay makikita sa right thumb, sa right ring, sa left middle, and left ring. And applying the cross-hand technique, this will enable us to know the corresponding numerical value of those fingers who has whirl patterns. Applying the even numbers are numerators and odd numbers are denominators, right thumb is 16, right index 0, right middle 0, right ring 8, right little 0, left thumb 0, left index 0, left middle 2, left ring 1, left little 0. So we have 8 plus 2 for the numerator, 16 plus 1 for the denominators. And for the total, we have numerator 10, denominator 17. But we should not forget the pre-established fraction 1 over 1. So we're going to add 1 on the numerator and 1 on the denominator. So the primary division result would be 11 over 18. Fourth step is the secondary division. And secondary division represented by capital and small letter combination based on interpretation made during deblocking. And again, the patterns that are acceptable for capital letters are capital A, T, R, U, W, C, D, and X. And on the other hand, the patterns acceptable for small letters are R, A, and T.
So, in this division, lagi lang natin tatandaan na kung ano yung nasa index finger natin is automatic capital letters.
Sa reference natin, sabi nga 'di ba, ang capital letters ay nasa index fingers lamang. So, pag tinignan natin yung right index tsaka left index natin, pareho itong ulnar loops. At magkakaroon lamang tayo ng small letters kung ang the rest ng mga fingers are either radial loop, plain arc, or tented arc. And as a result, right thumb, hindi, so leave it blank. Right middle, hindi din. Right ring, hindi din. Right little, hindi din. Left thumb, hindi din. Left middle, hindi din. Left ring, hindi din. And left little, hindi din. Kaya walang circle yung sa small letters natin dyan kasi we don't have radial loop, plain arc, or tented arc dito sa reference natin. Secondary division result is U over U or both ulnar loops. For the fingerprint classification formula, we have the primary division and secondary division already, so that would be 11 over 18 alongside with the U over U. For the fifth step, the subsecondary division. Subsecondary division derived by ridge counting of loop and ridge tracing of whorl, found at the index, middle, and ring fingers only.
Dito sa subsecondary division, napakadali lang kasi tatlong fingers lang yung lagi nating tatandaan, both left and right. So, right index, right middle, and right ring finger. On the other hand, we're going to use the left index, left middle, and left ring finger. So, dito sa subsecondary division, dito na natin tatandaan na kapag loop, ang ginagamit natin is ridge counting. Kapag naman whorl, ang ginagamit natin is ridge tracing. Sa whorl, ang gagamitin natin is IMO system. IMO stands for I for inner, M for meeting, O for outer. Inner for 3 or more intervening ridges inside or front. Meeting 2 or less. Kahit pa inside siya or outside, basta 2 or less, matic meeting yon. And the last one is outer. Outer naman kapag 3 or more intervening ridges below or outside. So let's move on sa loops. Sa loops, meron lamang tong tatlo, which is the IMR, index, middle, and ring finger. And sa bawat isa nito, dalawa lang yung pinagbabasihan, inner at outer. So mag-start tayo sa index finger. Pag ang bilang ng ridges is 1 to 9, inner yon. Kapag naman 10 or more, outer. So, next is yung middle finger natin. Sa middle finger, kapag 1 to 10 ang bilang ng ridge, inner yon. Kapag naman 11 or more, outer yon. And the last one is yung sa ring finger. Kapag ang bilang is 1 to 13, inner yon. Kapag naman 14 or more, outer yung gagamitin natin. So, we are done with the whirl and loop. Paano naman kapag arc? Pag arc, ang gagamitin natin is symbol lang. So, napakadali. Dash.
So, with the use again of our reference, right index is a loop. So, ridge counting value is 9. Right middle is also a loop. Ridge counting value is 16. Right ring is a whirl. So, ridge tracing value is 5 inside. Left index is a loop with a value of 13 for ridge counting. Left middle is a whirl with a ridge tracing value of 3 inside. Also, the left ring is a whirl with a ridge tracing value of 3 inside. Using those corresponding values of index, middle, and ring fingers, we've come out to numerator, inner, outer, inner, denominator, outer, inner, inner. Sixth step is the major division, which is taken from bottom fingers only.
Here, we're going to use our both thumbs. Only our thumbs, the left and right thumbs. So, alam na natin kapag whirl ang ginagamit, ridge tracing, which is the IMO system. Inner meeting outer. How about pag loop? Same pa rin, ang loop is ridge counting, pero ang nire-represent na symbol dito is ang small, medium, or large. SML. So, ayun nga kanina, pag loops, ginagamitan natin ng ridge counting. And nire-represent dito sa major division is SML or small, medium, large. May kita natin dito na merong table A and merong table B. Paano nga ba natin malalaman kung ang gagamitin natin is table A or table B? Ngayon, para mas madali, titingin tayo sa left hand natin. Pagbabasihan natin lagi left hand natin. Kapag ang value ng ridges dito is 1 to 16, table A ang gagamitin. Kapag naman ang value is 17 or more, table B ang gagamitin.
As a result, for the right thumb, since it is a roll, we're going to use the ridge tracing, and with the value of 3 outer, we're going to use O as a sign for the numerator. And for the left thumb, since it is a loop, we're going to use ridge counting, and the value is 15. So we're going to look at the table number 1, and 15 is between medium, that is 12 to 16. So the denominator is M, stands for medium. For the fingerprint classification formula, we're going to put the major division before the primary division. So it's going to be O over M, 11 over 18, U over U, and I over OII. Seventh step is the final division, and final division is derived from the little fingers only. Loop and whirl are both subject to ridge counting. So as you can see, whirl group family, we're going to use ridge counting. Loop group family, we're also going to use ridge counting for final division, and for the arc group family, we're going to use dash. Since it is the final division, we're going to encircle both little fingers. And as a result of our ridge counting, the numerator is 14 and the denominator is 14, both the right and left little fingers. So as a result, for the fingerprint classification formula, we're going to put the final division after the major division. So it's going to be O over M, 11 over 18, U over U, IOI over OII, and 14 over 14. Eighth and last step is the key division. Key division derived by getting the ridge count of the first loop except the little fingers. In the absence of the loop, the first whirl will be ridge counted for the purpose. It always plays in numerator.
So, didisregard na natin yung little fingers natin. Makukuha natin yung key division sa pamamagitan ng unang loop. Paano kapag walang loop? Ang alternative natin doon is yung una nating makikitang whirl.
So, we may be able to find the answer for key division in all fingers except the two little fingers, both left and right. In general rule, the pattern that will be chosen for key division is first loop except little fingers. And in connection to general rule, if the pattern for general rule was not seen, the next pattern to choose will be the first whirl. In our reference here, our first loop will be found at the right index. And the ridge counting value is 9. So here is the final fingerprint classification formula. The key division will be put before the major division. So that would be 9, then 0 over M, 11 over 18, U over U, I over OII, and then the last one is 14 over 14.